Hi, this is Deborah Holdship, editor of Michigan Today. I bring you this episode of Listen in Michigan from my closet, at my house. Well, working from home and all that. My guest in this episode is Lisa B., co-owner of Sweetwaters Coffee and Tea, founded in Ann Arbor in 1993. Lisa and her husband, business partner Wei, met as LSA students. They both graduated in 1990. And I was inspired to interview Lisa after meeting the B's outside the renovated Michigan Union just a few days before it opened to the public. When they told me they owned Sweetwaters, which ousted Starbucks in the new union, I was super excited. Local alumni entrepreneurs who just opened a business in their own student union. Well, that was March 1st when Lisa and I talked. Both of us blissfully unaware of the pandemic about to slam us into this bizarre state we're now all in. The date I had intended to publish this little lighthearted profile about a thriving family business landed right around the date the world shut down. It would have been totally weird to hear about the company's growth with franchises from Tennessee to Texas, the new coffees Lisa was bringing in from China, the low-sugar snack items she's always favored. It's an odd experience to hear how jolly and lighthearted we were. We spoke again on the phone from lockdown, which you'll hear at the end. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a heads up. You are about to enter a past time where you could open the door to a bustling coffee shop, inhale the heady aromas, shout over the grinders, and stand back from the steamers. You could hang with your friends, chat with the owner of Sweetwaters, and dig your ginger lemon tea in the company of others. So why don't you go brew a cup, close your eyes, and here's Lisa.
But we have a group of people that we call the Breakfast Club that come in every single morning and for about 27 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
And most of our morning guests are coming in almost every day. So that is really their ritual. They have found friends with other guests in the store as well as getting to know our staff. And they become connected to certain products, and that's all they order every single time. It's just how they wake up in the morning, how they start their day.
What about you? I mean, do you have rituals around your coffee and tea preparation experiences?
Wow. Well, we try not to make coffee and tea at home because we have this beautiful, all these different stores that we can go to. And my husband is the big coffee drinker. And yeah, he definitely loves to, brew his own coffee, or if he's going to the cafe, his favorite drink is the Dragon Eye. That's house coffee with a little bit of sweetened condensed milk. And that wasn't always on the menu. It was something that he every morning would drink.
Oh.
And I finally asked him, I'm like, what are you drinking? And I tried it and I was like, wow, this is really good. Let's put it on the menu. And that's how it came on there.
That's great.
It was his ritual. I really love the warmth of all the people in the cafe and seeing how the cafe has become a part of everyone's life. So if you sit there throughout the day, obviously you see the people that's their habit. They come in every single morning. And then you have the people that come midday that are just like really tired from work. Yeah, they need some energy. And then right after school, you see the kids that are super excited to come in and get a milkshake. And then of course, nighttime is usually the people who are like trying to, study and work. Just kind of seeing that mix of people. And there are a lot of people throughout the day that know each other. It becomes like a community gathering place. And so that is really nice. I've obviously gotten to know a lot of our guests, and I just love to see them.
Well, when you guys decided to start your business, what drove you to coffee and tea?
Well, we were in our early to mid-20s when we started, so right after college. And our background, we grew up in restaurants.
So that's so interesting that both of you grew up in restaurant business. So you're from Ohio, right?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, yes. And my husband grew up in Saginaw, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Full-scale restaurant just didn't appeal to us. It was a lot of work, a lot of capital. As we were finishing up college, coffee houses were definitely places that we ended up frequenting, study, just to meet friends. And as we looked around, we said, this would be really fun because we'd be working with people that were our age. And, it's coffee and tea. When we realized that the types of teas that people were generally exposed to were very limited compared to the types of teas that we were exposed to growing up. We're both Asian, so that tea culture is really strong for us. And then even coffees, I would say that we have a lot of coffees on our menu that are Asian inspired. And so we just wanted to, be able to offer more than what was being offered currently. And it allowed us a lot of creativity, which was really fun.
Where does that name come from?
Sweetwaters? Oh, that's fun. We were looking at, okay, what do all the products have in common? So we talked about water and what's a nice adjective. So Sweetwaters kind of came about very simply like that, but really the name also, we wanted it to translate in Chinese, also to sound really nice. And my Chinese is pretty bad compared to my husband's, so I will say it, but in Chinese it's Tian Shui. And also the way it's written, it also looks very nice. A lot of people ask about our logo. It's a round red chop, and the red chops are typically what you see at the bottom of Asian paintings.
Okay.
And a lot of times they're square or rectangular or round, and they're the artist's signature that's carved into a stone. Well, right before we opened, my husband, his parents were going to China, and they asked us, do you want anything? And we said, can you go get a chop carved with Sweetwaters in it?
That's so cool.
And, the way you write Sweetwaters in Chinese calligraphy today is not the way it's written in our logo, because they went to somebody that was some random person outside of the hotel, and that person decided to use ancient pictograph lettering. So so the bottom part are 3 waves, so it looks like water, and that's what that's how they used to write water, but that's not how they write it today.
Okay.
So it's Sweet and Waters. It's 1 character on top and water on the bottom, and we have no idea who came up with our logo. Some random person in China. So
thanks, Mom.
Yeah,
thanks, Dad.
Exactly.
What about working with your husband and stuff? How has that been? You've been partners for a long time, and
I just saw my parents work together, and it just didn't. That was just the norm for us.
Okay.
In the early days, it was a lot more where we were constantly working together.
Yeah.
Now the business has grown so much that surprisingly, we actually don't see each other as much because he works in a different part of the business. I mean, who can you trust more other than your spouse?
True. That's good. You would hope, yes.
Yes. And even our kids have all worked in business. They're not working in it now, but when they did, also it was great. We gave them a jump start. We trusted them as well. Family-owned businesses, I really can't think of anything different that I'd want. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, and then, you're having this opportunity to, your family business brings joy to people. I mean, that's nice. And you were noting at the beginning of our conversation about how so many of the customers now, or your guests, as we call them, like you're constantly throwing a party almost. I mean,
it's so much fun. I mean, we have guests that come in that ask about our kids, or just, or even we have guests that we've known since their kids were little, and now they're grown and married, which makes us feel very, very old. I remember we went out to San Francisco one time, and this girl came running up to us saying hi. And we were kind of looking at her, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is that little girl that used to sit there with her feet couldn't reach the floor.
So obviously you love people. Love being connected to people.
Yes. I mean, it's just, it makes every day is different. Every time we go into one of our stores, it's seeing different people, with opening the new store here in the Union.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Yeah. That's my whole story. Oh my God, I almost forgot my lead. Okay. Talk about burying the lead. It's such a cute shop, and it's in that beautiful spot. I mean, you scored.
We just, sometimes Wei and I have to pinch ourselves. Certainly in the beginning, to think that we were students here, sitting in here, and now thinking it's like we have a business there. It's amazing. And in the renovated Union, right by the atrium, we couldn't pick a better spot. Downtown's a lot of business people, our Westgate libraries, a lot of families. We do have students that come downtown, but There's nothing like being right in the center of where all the students are.
I just do love the thought of you guys studying in there, and now, you close your eyes, it's like time travel.
It's really strange. I mean, it was strange. We had our two older sons come down too for the opening, and we took a bunch of pictures there. I think it was just as strange for them too to now just be part of the businesses in there. They love it as well. One of the states that we're most prevalent in outside of Michigan is Texas, and also in New York and New Jersey. And maybe I should whisper this, but we're also in Ohio.
Just make sure all the cups are blue and gold. That'd be fun.
So lots of different places.
Cool, very cool. Bring a little Ann Arbor spirit to the rest of the universe.
Exactly. We have a lot of people that have that nostalgia. I mean, since we've been around for so long, tons of students have come here and then moved to different places.
Oh, yeah.
And, occasionally we get emails, oh my God, I can't believe there's a Sweetwaters in Iowa. We're so happy we can get our ginger lemon tea or, wherever it is, have a little piece of your college, life back to where you are, and be able to enjoy the drinks that you enjoyed. And the atmosphere is similar. The service is the same. That's what we look to bring is some nostalgia of Ann Arbor, of University of Michigan, of Sweetwaters.
So what was your favorite spot when you were a student here?
Well, I don't know. Do you remember Drake's?
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves Drake's.
I loved getting grilled cheese and tomato soup there. Do you remember the croissant shop on North University?
That I do not remember.
Yeah, so they used to bake fresh croissants every day, and that would be my treat after, I think, Chinese class. So,
well, I think it's interesting that the two places that you used to hang out were both like, bakery type places. That makes sense. It's like
candy.
It's good. You've got a place that you like to be now. I mean, that's like the ideal situation. Yeah. Start a business that, feeds your soul, which it sounds like you really have done. So
we do get to occasionally get to enjoy our own business. So
okay, we're not done yet. Can you see how congenial and lovely Lisa is? She's a people person, to be sure. So I was a little worried about her, frankly, being in lockdown, missing her regulars. I gave her a quick call to bring the story up to date. And man, how quickly things change.
It's weird to walk into our stores. We have shields up. We have markings on the floor. I kind of hope it's not the new normal, but we'll see. I think it'll take some time for people to adjust once everything opens up again. But I would like to see our stores look the same as before we close. I do go to the store that we have that's still open. And when I see the guests come in, what's been really nice is they're really thankful and happy that we are open because it's a way to kind of get away, kind of escape, come in and get a treat, be able to go out and enjoy and walk around. And then, of course, just generally keeping an eye on what's happening in the news, what's happening with the governor's announcements, making sure that we still stay involved in the community to provide beverages for frontline employees. We've donated to the U of M hospital staff. And when the governor allowed stores to become quote-unquote pantries, we've had some pantry items for sale, like alternative dairy milk, oat milk, soy milk, almond milk, and people have been buying that. Or we do have toilet paper and paper towels, very limited, just about 6 or 7 items that people would just need. And so kind of like a corner store. So it's been interesting to see all the different ways to provide services and products that we never really had to think about. This whole crisis changed some of the project schedules that we had. So we had a mobile app that we were working on that was going to be launched until maybe June. But because of this, we launched it much earlier than expected. And we added a piece to the mobile app because so many people want to donate and help the community, which is really nice. So there's a section on our mobile app, and you can donate towards catering tray or beverage catering for frontline staff. So we kind of collect all those funds, and then we put something together, and then we go deliver it to the hospital or, wherever. It's been a really nice way to see the community kind of come together, not only to support us, but to support all the healthcare workers and frontline staff that are out there supporting the whole community. And it's really nice to see. And then we've had hospital staff come into the cafe because, there's not very many places that are open.
Hey, and have you heard from or seen any of your Breakfast Club people? How are they doing?
We've seen them. Yeah, we have. I was surprised because they're so entrenched in coming in and sitting down and having that conversation. We thought, once the dining area was closed, we wouldn't see them anymore. But no, they still come in, and not as often, but they still come in, and it's still part of their morning routine. It's been really lovely to see them, and we wouldn't be where we are without them.
Well, if nothing else, we certainly are learning a lot of life lessons these days, and one thing that makes these hard times a little easier is definitely a good cup of coffee. Okay, I may have to take a little break until we get back into an actual studio to make a decent sounding product, so keep an eye on this space for other podcasts produced by my friends at the University of Michigan. Hopefully I'll be back with you soon. Until then, everyone stay safe, listen to the scientists, and as always, go blue.